Hey y'all, Beardy Bros Golf Show back at it again and full force. I am Rod.
I am Marcus.
And as a brother who understands the Baltimore accent, I am Michael.
Um, I don't know if that's admirable.
Yes, it is. Why, yes, it
Okay,
is.
so since we're starting off random, name a worse accent other than the Baltimore accent in the U.S.
There is
U.S.
none.
accent
There's
T knee.
literally yes. Follow suit.
It's
Gee,
horrible.
Yes, yes, yes,
there
yes,
is none. There is none. It is the worst.
yes.
There is. Baltimore takes the cake for worst accent. All right, y'all. How was y'all's week? How was your week?
Busy, hectic.
Yeah. Oh,
With golf, life.
you know,
Work.
literally.
Okay. How
Yes.
about you, Mike? Celebrating anything?
No, I don't. I mean, no, I don't want to celebrate that. Yeah. No, I my
You'd
birthday
be,
my birthday passed away.
and you're now 26,
25. Yes.
25, even younger
Oof.
than I thought. Wow, he's a
Yes.
Young
baby.
man.
He's a little baby. I was just talking to my wife the other day about how we're old. Like how 18 years old for me was 25 years ago, which is nuts. I'm older, or yeah, I've been past 18 longer than Michael's been alive, which is crazy.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's
Oh,
all
Oh
well,
right,
shit,
y'all.
Rod will be 44 this year. My lord.
he's young.
It
He's still
goes by
young.
really fast. Yeah, I'm still hanging in there. I don't get treated like an old man. So
Mm.
anyway, let's get into it, man. The players. Um, we'll get down to the live trying to compete with the players, which is bizarre. But I would say let me just start off with Saturday, leaving Saturday. I had said I was pretty confident. I think the PGA Tour was pretty confident that Ludvig Åberg was going to win the tournament. It was up three. The betting odds were in his favor, and not a bad start, but definitely stumbled on the back nine going home in 40. Just did not look sharp the majority of the day. I'll talk about it a little bit more, but later when I do have a slide that I didn't put in the notes about Scotty Scheffler, and I think there's some consistent issues that I saw between Ludwig and Scotty, and in regards shot shape off the tee box. Let's stay there for a second. Marcus, what'd you think about Ludwig on day one through three and then Sunday?
I think that day 1 through 3, Ludwig was playing stress free. And then the presser came out on Saturday, and I felt like he put a lot of self-inflicted pressure on himself. He's not. This isn't his. He's not from here, but this is where he's stationed. This is where he practices the most when he's not traveling. So, it would have felt like a hometown victory for him if he would have pulled it out. And he said that in the interview, during his questions and stuff like that. So I felt like he put, kind of like a self-inflicted little, um, nervousness and pressure on himself. And I felt like you saw that a lot, especially starting with number 11. Well, I mean, you can say that
It started
before.
before 11.
Yeah, you can say it started before 11, but it really hit home when he went straight into the water on that hole and, went from double digits under par to single digits under par. But yeah, I mean, it was really just unfortunate. I think we all kind of saw what happened at the Farmers and expected him to kind of just keep carrying on that winning mentality and being able to be in the moment and win when it mattered. So it was just, I guess, really more of a shock. But me, I feel
Yeah,
like
I
Cam
was.
Young. Go ahead.
Well, we're
Sorry.
not into Cam Young. I didn't do not stop transitioning, my brother. Um, I don't know. It's just like he couldn't find the fairway. Heavily on the left early on in the round. Like you said, you mentioned the water ball. Um, and it seemed like very late, after it was pretty much out of hand, that he was able to get the fade back working. I don't know. I was excited to talk about him today just because of the speed with which he plays the game and moves, keeps it moving. I mean, he's pulling the trigger less than 5 seconds after approaching the ball. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
great for the game of golf these days. So, Mike, what do you think about the Åberg situation, and also even Michael Thorbjornsen, who ended up having a really bad day? I think he had an eight at some point on the front nine, or had an eight. I know he had an eight, and then went on to shoot like six over. So, what do you think about those two struggles from the leaders going into the final day?
Well, for Ludwig, I feel like that's kind of uncharacteristic of him because he's very, consistent throughout 4 rounds. Um, Now I know Thorbjornsen has had some troubles in the past of closing out tournaments, of being in contention and closing it out, or kind of finding that next gear of being able to win a tournament. I mean, I saw this thing where they were both in their respective class coming out of college. They were number one on PGA Tour U. So I thought that this would be a very good, matchup between, 2025 PGA Tour U number one and 2024 PGA Tour U number one, and see, who had the better class, in terms of difficulty of being number one. But I mean, I never really expected to see that kind of struggle from Ludwig. Um, you know, I was thinking about it, you're in the lead, you're 3 strokes clear of the field, and then you got Fitzpatrick and Cam Young who are on, they're starting to heat up. And then you lose the lead. So then you start to make this like this press of like, okay, I have to get back now. So could he have, like there's just so many scenarios you can play in your head of what could have happened, what did happen, what should have happened. And I think that's just something that at that level of golf, you always overpress in terms of like, I have to make birdie, 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 eagle, eagle, whatever to get back into the position I was in. And then that's when mistakes can happen. Like
Right.
him just making certain shot calls or certain, you know, instead of hitting three wood, he hit driver this go around. Why? Why change up the game plan? Is it, I know it's to get closer to the hole, but if this is the game plan for the week, why change it on the last day when you're trying to get back into contention? But I just didn't really expect that. I thought Ludwig had it. I thought this was his tournament to win. And
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I was pulling for Thorbjornsen as well. For to him to win the Players would have been like fantastic because that's kind of showing that he can get over the hump of of the final round woes. And it's just kind of unfortunate that he did have a quad and just could never recover from it. But he's still very young and has a lot of golf left in his career. So I hope
Yep.
everything pans out
Yep.
well for a season.
Young and talented, and yes, will continue to play good golf for a long time. Just the pressure seemed to catch both of them. I mean, Javier was, even through 11, through 10, excuse me, and then had two sixes back to back on 11 and 12, as Marcus mentioned. So it just sucked. Like I said, he was first. The original thumbnail that I had up was he was like first in eagles, first in par five scoring, scrambling number one in the tournament. Greens and regulations, the man was dominating all the categories. So it just looked like, okay, just have a decent Sunday and hold on. And to be, I mean, what did the winner? So Cam Young ended up winning at 13.
at
So had
13.
he just held on to a decent round the entire time, he could have survived it. But it is what it is. Let's pull up the slideshow here. I don't have to feel ashamed since Mike is here. We don't have to explain why the third person is not present. So all right. So Cam Young wins the back nine battle. I mean, it got really good between him and Matt Fitzpatrick playing together in the same group. I always love it when it's like that. It feels like a bit of a match play situation, going back and forth, see who can actually hang on to it. And we see Cam Young um, play steady. I think he had a bogey on number six, and then you know coasted at that. I shouldn't say coasted, but had a clean card up to that point, and then got to 17. And I'll do the tour cast because they have some embedded videos. Hopefully, we don't get nicked for that on the copyright. But just kind of shows the shots that he hit under pressure, and then the drive on 18. Probably one of the best drives I've ever seen in real time. To step up there on 18, a lot of pressure, really cut the whole corner with a booming 375-yard drive. But we'll get to the tour cast here in just a little bit. But definitely impressive. And I'm going to go to my next slide, the third slide, actually, just to show the momentum that he's been under since the Wyndham of last year. You can just see how well he's been playing. Up here on top left, we have the end of last year's results with that first at the Wyndham. I think he ended up winning that by 6 strokes. Fifth, 11th, T4, T9, 10th at the Hero, which that's the limited field. Kicked ass in the Ryder Cup. Performed his butt off, was one of the few bright spots that we saw in the Ryder Cup. And then big start of this year, kind of ho hum, T22, T41, T5, then goes T7, T4, and then we get the win this week. So, Mike, what do you think about the run that Cam Young is on, and can this ascend him to the next level? The thumbnail is take it to the next level. Do you think he is doing that, or do you see any stopping the momentum that he's on right now?
No, not right now. I mean, just look at last year. His worst finish was 11th, especially what looks like from the postseason and some of that, fall series stuff.
Hmm.
Just kind of off to not really like a rocky start, but just not in that kind of top 20-ish, but then he cleans it up really well with a T7 and a T3 at what can arguably at two signature events. And for him to win, his first major at the Players, I'm kidding. Um, but
Don't you,
sorry,
don't you
sorry,
dare.
no. But for him to win the Players it's a big momentum leading into the Masters. I mean, after the Players, you're looking at the last two tournaments before the Masters, and I think it drives a lot of momentum. Will he play the Valero or the Houston Open? I'm probably not 100% sure he will. He may play the Valeros as like a last tune-up before he goes to Augusta. But I mean,
You still got the Valspar too next
oh,
week.
sorry, yeah, the Valsport, yeah. But he's in the driver's
Yeah,
seat.
Valspar
So
next, but
yeah, I mean, long off the tee. I mean, doesn't look like he swings. It doesn't look fast. It doesn't look hard like he's doing something viciously. It's just like he gets to the top, he pauses, and then just speed. Um, I mean, just knows how to shape it, knows how to hit it far, knows how to really, really exemplified his putting and his wedges this week. And no, overall, I think he's in the driver's seat right now.
yeah. And Marcus, you've been high on Cam Young for a while. I think he's one of your major picks this year. So, Yeah, he's been your guy for a little bit. So what do you think about this performance? Um, Same question. Do you see anything slowing him down? And do you? I mean, I think, like I said, I think you already picked him for a major this year. Do you think that still holds true? Are you more confident in that, selection at this point?
Yeah. I, I'm I don't know. I transitioned out of being an "I told you so" person a long time ago. So I will refrain from doing that. But his game is very repeatable, and you can see it in the swing with the consistent draw that he plays, and now being able to incorporate just that slight fade, that slight fall to the right shot. I don't think there's a lot that could really slow him down. Um, Me and Rod were, doing our usual throughout the week and kind of sent back and forth a clip of his exponential gain on the greens as far as putting. Um, his caddy has almost fully taken over green reading for him, which I'm okay with. I think, and I guess, and what I was trying to tell Rod was, I feel like that grows and educates the player as well. Because if your caddy's stepping in to help you read it, you're going to start taking those same views. You're going to start to understand what he's saying and what he sees as well. So that's only going to
Yeah.
do good for him as he continues to play and play more, especially, this is the PGA Tour. It's not like we're rotating out different courses and stuff like that. We are going back to the same courses year in and year out. So, they might change the pins, but the green complexes are going to stay the same, barring a few renovations and stuff like that. So, yeah,
Yeah.
the only thing that was slowing him down was putting. He's gotten into a 9.2R Scotty that he really feels comfortable with, as well as the green reading now. So yeah, short game is there. You saw it with the wedge play during the Wyndham, and it's only gotten better as well, more dialed in. So yeah, I don't see him slowing down, and I do think that my major pick for him will maybe not come through for sure, but I do think he will contend and pull out a top five out of that for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and just referencing the post that we were kind of spitballing on was a guy saying that based on this green reading, that caddies shouldn't be allowed to read the greens, right? And we saw this several years ago at the Colonial. Ryan Palmer's caddy, who's a member at Colonial, would read every single putt. It would be the 1 week of the year that they would do that. Typically, Ryan Palmer would perform pretty well in that event. My thing is like, look, they can't stand behind them as they're lining up. They have to back away before that. But I mean, that's the purpose of a caddy, is to help read the greens, to assist your player. So I don't see anything wrong with it, right? There's already a rule in place about it. Me playing outside of the U.S. with caddies, I love it, right? So especially, of course, I've
Yeah,
never played before, or having a hard time reading the greens. It's been very helpful. And when you don't listen to your caddy, who has like course knowledge, you feel stupid when you miss a putt, where they kind of gave you the line and either pushed it a little bit, or didn't trust in it as much as you should have and didn't commit. Mike, what are your thoughts on green reading caddies and other kind of assistance? Because I said if they can't read the greens, we might as well just throw caddies away, have push carts available, and allow the rangefinders out there. Do you have any problem with caddies reading every green and saying, "Hey, this is where you should hit it"?
No, seeing as that my caddy is part of our podcast.
don't let me influence you. Be honest.
No, I'm being honest right now. Um, no, Marcus does a really good job of, you know, when I ask him to come in for a read, he helps out. But normally I do most of the green eating myself. Um, but I think, the purpose of the caddy is for the second acknowledgement. Um, there are some players who kind of don't need their caddies for green reading or for that final decision, but to have like a second person who can confirm that yes, this is the right shot, this is the right line, this is the right pace, this is how you should feel. It can be reassuring to a player.
Yeah.
Now there have been instances where some people, like in my case, like sometimes I don't listen, and that's just ignorance. That's just hard headedness, in my opinion. Where someone who's with you, week in, week out, that you either play with or see every other week, they've seen how you play, they know how you play, they know shots that you can or will have more difficulty performing. Um, and sometimes that's just the hard headedness of the player, but Marcus does
Right.
a really good job of knowing
Right.
my game and knowing when I'm down and when I'm up and when I need to come down or when I need to get up. So, um, and everyone's like, well, the caddy is the reason why. Well, I mean, we're human. We all make human errors. Sometimes it's his fault. Most of the time, it's my fault. I'm the one who has the final say in the shot. So I can't put 100% of blame on my caddy for giving me a misread or a missed club or a mispositioned shot. I'm the one who has to hit it. So
Yeah.
yes, there is some error, but we're not perfect. We're human. So yeah.
No doubt. Cool beans. I'll pull up this next slide. Kind of jumping back to his back nine, and then again this drive on 18. Gets up there, takes it just over the corner of the water, but it was so deep. When it landed, I was kind of in shock, like to see where it actually came into the fairway. Kind of sealed the deal, but still a little bit of pressure. He ended up going long into the green. Matt Fitzpatrick was not able to get up and down. Very cordial between the two. Again, because haven't had a lot of time to watch TGL. They talked about them being teammates on TGL, so it was a very comfortable pairing for the two of those guys. And again, you could see the camaraderie. There was no, there was
Bad
a very
blood or
comfortable
anything.
kind of Yeah. Oh yeah, it was a very comfortable congratulations at the end of the round. So that's always cool to see. I mean, again, just the clutch putt to actually keep his par in hand with so much at stake. He did have the crowd behind him. That's the one thing that you could definitely hear, especially the coverage that I was watching my Vietnamese golf coverage. So they don't commentate a lot. So you hear a lot more of the crowd interactions. There's no commercials. So you're hearing, they're filling it with actual on course stuff. It was kind of sad watching the end after it was clear Cam Young was the winner, watching Ludvig and Thorbjornsen come in. It was pretty solemn at that point. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, let me pull up the tour cast, and hopefully again that we don't get popped for the copyright there. PGA Tour is very aggressive. All right. So we're going to pull up 17 first. Because again, the shot that he hit going into 17, with that pressure, all the things that were at stake, really impressive. So we see the impact. I'm going to play the video again. Hopefully we don't get popped. Incredible getting it on that side of the ridge, which is a really tough shot in that position. Caroms forward and you're in the water behind the green. And then to make the putt.
Walked it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick had a tough putt. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, a little
The
Amazon
left to right
action.
slider. That's still broke at least a cup or two out.
Yeah.
from there.
Absolutely. And I think they do have the video attached to that. Again, 375-yard drive on 18. The adrenaline was definitely on 10 at this point.
Yeah, plus downwind. He hit driver.
Yeah.
Yep. Stepped up there and hit a draw.
Yep. I mean, the shots, it's set up perfectly for him.
I mean, he manhandled that ball.
I know.
That's insane.
Which is, it is. It is. And like you said, it doesn't look like he's going incredibly hard at it.
No.
It's a nice little swipe
Crazy.
down by the ball. One thing that I've noticed this week on the Tourcast, and I don't know if I can get to it from this screen, is they are, and this could just be for the players. I'm going to see if they do it again this week, but they had this range deal going on where you could see each players through the PGA Tour app, their range session. So if they went out there and hit 45 balls, 75 balls, I think at the beginning of the week, I forget who they said had the most balls hit on their range session, but it was very cool. And like I said, I don't know if they're going to continue doing that week in, week out, if that was just for the players. But it definitely kind of helps you get a little bit of the professional routine that they're not out there beating balls during their warm-ups. They're just fine-tuning, getting the body loose, getting ready to go out. There's probably, a ton of pre-work. A lot of these guys lift weights and do cardio before their rounds, that it's not golf skills. And then, of course, a lot of time on the short game area. But again, the coverage was really cool this week. Any other thoughts on Cam Young before we kind of talk about some other aspects and players around the Players Championship?
No.
I guess, yes and no. Like, it's not really his fault, but the fanfare is just it's so corny, bro. Like, you can cheer on a player without all the USA stuff, bro. Like, it was against Fitzpatrick. I get it, but like, it had nothing to do with that, bro. It had absolutely nothing to do with that. Especially
I heard
since
somebody
their
yell,
teammates
God bless it. Yeah, I heard somebody yell out, God bless America. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, that's so
bro.
lame.
Like, it was real evident on 17 when they started the USA chants, but it's like they were yelling it like Matt Fitzpatrick didn't hit the green and didn't have a birdie putt as well. Like, I'm like, okay, all right, congrats though. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cam Young. It wasn't his fault.
No, and yeah, it was not. And even Matt Fitzpatrick said that's lame and really tame compared to what I experienced at Bethpage in the Ryder Cup. So he's like, it didn't bother me at all.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into some auxiliary stuff that I have kind of lined up. So
before you do that, Rod, on Wednesday, Brian Harman led the pack with 205 range balls hit.
That's why I almost said Brian Harman, but I didn't.
Brian Harman.
That's
hit
a lot of
You
balls.
ain't finding it, Brian. You ain't finding it out there, bro. You ain't finding it. It's too late, bro.
Yeah. In second place,
you ain't
Alex
find it
Noren.
already.
Third place, Jake Knapp. Fourth, Gary Woodland, and lastly, our favorite, Crash Out Wyndham Clark.
Ugh.
Yeah. Let's actually. That's a good place.
Alex Noren would have been the one.
I know, right? We know he's a grinder, hands bleeding. Let's get into our picks. Oh, nope, that's not it. Slides are trash. Shut up, sir.
Hey, let's give him a good old-fashioned.
Good God. All right, so our picks going into the week. Prior to the year, we picked all the majors and the players as well. Mike finished the most successful. Although I'm
Yes.
glad we all had players that made the cut. Let's just
Made the
say that
cut.
that is a lonely feeling when you make a pick and that person doesn't even make the cut. Um,
That
I
that
bet you there's
MC
a
next
lot
to
of
that
people right
name.
now.
Oof.
You say what? Say that again.
I said that MC next to that name. Ooh, hurts.
I know. I know. I'm sure there's a lot of people real disappointed in the or nervous about Scotty missing this cut. There's a lot. He's always the favorite, right? I think we're at the point where it
Hmm.
has become Scotty versus the field. But I do have his rounds up. I'll go back one slide here in a sec. But yeah, we did pretty mid on our picks. Hopefully the Masters turns out a little bit better. We can get a top 20, top 15. If we're really good, a top 10 in there.
Yeah.
You know,
But yeah, Scotty though, I want to talk about him. This is the second week in a row. I actually kept this slide up from last week, or at least the title of the slide, and the man just could not get the ball working both ways. Kept trying to turn over the draw, and one particular case on Saturday ended up being a big banana slice to the right. Just looked like he was struggling to get that right hand rotated over. The legs were a little bit extra this week. We see starts the tournament with a 72 and then a 73. Makes the cut. Cut was at +2. He and Rory barely made it. Rory, you can kind of excuse because of the back situation going into the tournament, which he said he was a game time decision going in. And then decent Saturday for Scotty. Looked like he started to find it. Had a 5 under, and then finishes at 1 under on Sunday, but never really in contention. Never really threatened the lead at all. He's had some really slow starts on beginning of tournaments this year. What do we think about Scotty? Mike, you weren't on last week when Marcus and I talked about this. What do you think about where his game is currently? I think I think they're expecting another child right now. That might be in the back of his brain.
Hmm.
Um, but what do you think about where his game is trending?
Trending. It's always a short game.
Trending, and do you think he can get it back? Trending, and
Yeah.
do you think he can get it back?
For him right now, it's off the tee. He's got to figure it out off the tee. I think he's floating between two drivers. He's really trying to put the 4D in play, and he's just like, I'm in between the 40 and the QI10, but that's more of him saying like, I'm going back to the QI10. It's consistent for him. He likes it. I mean, it's from the QI10 to the 4D. The QI10 is the most forgiving, straightest driver TaylorMade made between those three models, between the
Yeah,
10, the 35, and the 4D. Um, I mean, once he figures that off the tee, then he's golden. Putting is in a really good spot. Short game, I mean, arguably one of the best hands, one of the best iron strikers when it comes to proximity to the hole. It's just right now he's struggling off the tee, and I just necessarily don't. If he can just get off the tee, then we'll start back into like nightmare Scotty, where he's always in contention
yeah,
for everything. It was funny because me and a couple coworkers were talking about this, and we were like, "Oh yeah, Scotty's just off to a slow start," and it's like, well, hold on, he's got a tournament win already under his belt.
and he
So
still
right,
won.
yeah, like
right.
he still has a tournament win. So we're just so accustomed to him being in contention every single week that some of
Yeah,
us forget to like give him a little bit of grace and be like, hey, Scotty's allowed to play bad, or if he's in a tough stretch, like he's allowed to do that. But we've kind of placed them on this podium of like, you're not allowed to play bad. You have to play good every single week and almost win every single week, or if not win. So, I mean, just off the tee. If you can get off the tee, we're back to Nightmare
yeah.
Scotty.
Yeah, I was scrolling Instagram, and a guy who's a really good follow. If you don't follow him, Decade Golf Scott Fawcett does a lot of He's not even really like this professional Instagrammer. He'll just hop on, throw his thoughts out there. He's like literally doing old man Instagram. He got his phone taping his TV screen. It's like the most bootleg thing. And he'll throw some commentary behind it. And he's like, Scotty, you know you need to stick to one shot shape. Again, he's trying to draw it. He's trying to hit the, his fade is pretty damn reliable. So get up there
His
and hit the
fade is
fade.
straight.
Right. Right. It's
His
a
fade is
3 yard fade.
straight. Yeah, bro.
So just hit that thing. But he's out there trying to hit big swooping draws, and that's just not what you need to do. I mean, you can fit your fade into TPC on any of those holes, right? There's none where it
Yeah.
just absolutely you're screwed and it's so tight on the right hand side that you cannot hit that over trees or start it off left. So yeah, Scott Fawcett, really good insight into the game, has a program that can be purchased, but I always love his cerebral part of the game, and he was just like, yeah, dude, just hit one shot shape. And I saw that again on Sunday with Ludvig Åberg and not being able to commit to one shot shape and then kind of getting double crossed in certain situations. So, Marcus, what do you think? We talked about it again last week, but just after watching another week of the struggles, do you agree it's just driver and he's golden after that?
Um. Yes and no. I feel like it's a little bit more complicated than that. Only in the regards of you kind of see like piggybacking off what Michael said. You kind of see really what Tiger was dealing with when we talk about Scotty versus the field now, and it's graduating to that. It's not quite that, but like it was Tiger versus the field for 12 years, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a big step to put yourself in that ball game to where you're going against the field every week. So I think we should give Scotty a little bit more grace that we're disappointed in a T22 at the Players that he did win back to back, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I think he's just, I mean, like, he was beating balls in the rain on Friday or whatever. And a lot of
Right.
people were kind of like, you know what, like, hey, Scotty, like, you okay? Everything all right? He's like,
Like, you
no, I'm
good?
just solidifying some fields, you know? And then I think it was just kind of concerning because it's like I don't think he hit a shot that he was truly confident in pretty much all week. And he still scraped
Right.
through and had a bogey-free 67 on moving day and stuff like that. I think we really just need to give Scotty more grace, but I also think that at this point now, at this stage, as he continues to transition to Scotty versus the field, that he is also finding that gear as well, thinking that, hey, I need to be on top of my shit every week, and I need to be
Yeah.
making these shots every week. But you saw it
Yeah. Stepping
though.
on.
Go ahead, Rob.
No, I was saying just, yeah, solidifying, stepping on their neck, on the competition's neck,
Yeah,
and like,
yeah,
hey, I
agreed.
got this.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
I
finish
think
out
he
your
got
thought.
real guidey. Yeah, I think he got real guidey with the hands. I mean, you see it. Like one of the shots where Scratch reposted one of his swings, where I think it still barely missed the fairway, or he popped it up and it hit the fairway or something like that. Just some like high pop fade where he was trying to sling it, like you were saying. You see his hands are just so he's trying to smother the ball and kind of
Mm-hmm.
hit like a low hook, and it's just like, Scotty, you don't do that. Your high hands up at the
Right.
top, your high hands through the finish, like just get back to what you were doing and hit that 3 yard cut, as Rod was saying, bro. Like you don't have to outsmart yourself. That's I think another thing that people are like need to get it through their head as they differentiate skill levels in the game of golf. These skilled players are dealing with things that amateurs and high level scratch players will never have to deal with. The amount of thoughts that I think I have in my game, and I've outsmarted myself, they have 10 times that amount. Like,
Well,
it
I
just
mean,
doesn't
yeah, I
even
mean
make,
this yeah, the stakes are crazier, and then the fact that they are more in tune with every part of their game, right?
yeah.
So
I mean,
I can
just even from
imagine
like a
that.
skill level, like Mike,
Yeah,
you tell me, like now that you're at this level of +4 and you're getting into the pro level, would you not agree with that? Would you not say like, hey, like I have to take some of these thoughts away from my game and just get back to hitting this shot shape? Because just because we have the option to hit a fade off the tee or a draw off the tee doesn't mean that's some shit that I should be trying to do, especially in a competition. You know what I'm saying? Would you not? Would you not agree with that,
Yeah.
or am I stretching?
No, no, no. I mean, I would agree with that. Yes, there are some courses that kind of don't set up to me because I am a drawer of the golf ball, but I adjust. I don't try to fade it more or then draw it because then that puts me in a position where I kind of have to think more. And
hmm
and Marcus knows this that I play some of the best golf when I like turn my brain off. Like it's just hit ball, see ball,
Yeah,
do what I'm doing. And I think when you try to like use your brain more, you get in your own way. So I mean
yeah,
I would agree with that statement. It's like yes, I kind of understand what I mean, I'm not there yet, but I kind of understand what the players are going through in the sense of like, hey, I have to do this to be successful so that I can, keep my job or stay at this level. Um, and,
yeah.
but, you know, you're in summary, yes, you're right. Yes.
That's all
That
I'm saying.
if
Scotty
we
has too
can,
much brain activity going on
yeah,
right now.
if we can, you know, take as many variables out of my game mentally, physically, and in shot shape, the better.
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
I
I mean, your
agree.
body requires two different things for a draw and a fade.
Right.
And for some people, more so than others, right? So some people
Yep,
are relying on their hands to turn over to hit that draw. Some people do it with setup, and so
yep,
if you're trying to go back and forth between the two, I think that's how people end up double crossing, right? They end up between
yep,
those two, what your brain is trying to do and what your body feels, right? So if your body naturally hits a fade with the damn driver, get up there and hit the fade. If you know it's
yeah.
reliably going to turn over at a certain yardage, aim, accordingly and do your thing. So yeah, it's tough when you're trying to go back and forth between shot shapes. I know when I try to do it with irons and try to hit a damn fade, I'm a drawer my irons. If I start trying to hit fades, that shit ends up turning into a hosel rocket. It's just like
Yep.
it eventually gets so far off. So every time I try it, I'm like, stop doing that shit, sir. Just hit your draw.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Let's get into some stuff that happened earlier on in the week. We saw Collin Morikawa. I think I got the news alert like super early in the day. Second
Yeah,
hole of
Michael
his
playing
day,
golf.
number 11. Yeah, bro, it was bizarre because I was like, "Is this for real?"
Right.
So injures the back, tweaks the back. Immediately, people go, to correlating. Oh, is this something that's happening with people that are playing TGL, as we saw Rory have back tightness last week to now Morikawa, and we don't know the extent of it. Again, there's no pressure for him to play anytime super soon. He can take the Valspar off. He can essentially rest through the Masters if it's physical for him.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get some more news on that. Throughout the week, and hopefully it's not serious. Hopefully it's just one of those fluky things.
Spasm or something.
But Yeah, you just don't want to see season-ending surgery or anything like that. That's just a dark road. I was gonna ask you, Mike. Marcus has had back issues, but they were totally unrelated to golf. Have you encountered any back issues in your golfing career as of late or at any point in time?
100%, yes. Marcus Marcus has seen me where I've played injured, and it's not fun. It's not a pretty swing. I was If you can think of like a 95-year-old man who has like a hunchback and like literally finishes the club like this, that was me for like a week and a half. Like I couldn't swing
Yeah,
a golf
he had
club.
to. Yeah, that was deep tissue, Michael. And he had to go. He had to go to some depths to get that worked out.
Yeah,
It wasn't good.
it's not fun because I mean it got to a point where like I would struggle putting clothes on.
You're
And
forcing. Yeah.
yeah, and
Oof.
I was, thank God I was able to, get past that season. And, I do experience some back tightness, now that I've ramped up practice, let's say, by 150%, where I'm more on the range, more putting, more chipping, more, just really tighten up my game. I know when to call it quits. I know when to say, "Hey, I'm hurt. Hey, I'm in pain," or "Hey, I need to rest some more or take the day off." Um, I think I'm doing a really much better job of listening to what my body says in terms of pain. And because yeah, I'm still young, but I'm not 18 or 21 anymore, where I could just, oh, this hurts, but I can still play, you
Back.
know.
Yeah.
So kind of listening to my body a little bit more as I get older, and just accepting the fact that if I can't practice today, it's okay. Yes, I will think about how I could have done something to practice, but it's better to be safer than sorry. So, and then as well, just cutting out some activities that like I used to be like a really big volleyball player, and like I really want to get back and play, but it's like I can't, or not so more that I want to, is that I can't because I'm trying to
It's more
start
so
like
the risk.
right, so and it's just kind of listen, just taking the precaution,
Didn't somebody turn their ankle
Absolutely.
crazy like like on a soccer game? Am
It
I
was Rory.
tripping?
It was Rory. He was like messing around with his buddies in the backyard or something, and he like rolled it. Like I
Hmm.
think they say it was like any worse, he would have fractured his ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shit,
but I
Tony
mean,
Crazy
Finau,
stuff.
Tony Finau
Oh yeah.
dislocated his
dislocated.
ankle,
That
At,
was
celebrated
crazy.
it, and popped it back in and played
at
under
the
par
par
low.
three.
Yeah,
Dude.
that was
Yeah.
insane.
Well, he
But
had to.
Yeah. That was
Pride
insane.
a lot. Pride aside, he had to. Ain't no way
right,
you celebrating a hole in one
Right.
and then withdrawn from the tournament. You got to muscle that up.
You
You got to
get
muscle through
go
that, bro.
go to the medical tent, get that injection, and deal with
Yeah,
the consequences after. Yeah.
I think we was
um,
joking about that year. I think we said he was definitely on some shit that whole week.
Yes.
He was definitely shot
Yes.
up.
totally.
The
But I
horse
mean,
drinks.
if you look at the video of Colin like doing the practice swing, he like starts normal and then
It's
he
a.
speeds it up like real fast. Like if he's trying to hit like a power, and it's
He's
probably
trying
in
to
that
catch
moment,
his.
huh?
I felt like he was trying to. I feel like he does that every time though.
Okay,
But when he tweaked his back, he did it again afterwards to try to see if he could like kind of
Pop.
like
yeah,
stretch out of it or pop out of it. I felt like that was that second time through, and he was like, nah. And
yeah,
did you see how his playing companions looked back at him?
yeah. And
They
they were
was like,
like,
oh shit. They was like, oh shit, that's not good. I mean, bro walked off the tee box, hand on back. They was like, bro, you good? He
no,
was not good.
he was like, no, he's like, I'm not
Yeah.
locked in.
And that's
Oh, he
definitely
was
worse.
hurt.
Like I said, yeah, he's
He was
hurt.
hurt, bro.
And right? If
Yeah.
you've ever seriously hurt yourself, and you kind of know the extent of it. When I ruptured my Achilles, I knew immediately. And people were like, "Oh, you're walking. You didn't do anything. You just straight." And I'm like, "No, bro, my shit is disconnected." So,
Hey,
um,
nah, bro. Listen, this dude dislocated his whole ass kneecap, and I had to drive him home. This, like, the shit Rod done been through basketball wise, bro. Don't even get me started, man. I had to take him to CVS. He was on crutches. Like, this guy. I mean, let alone the Achilles. Let's get into the dislocated knee first. This guy was like, he felt like somebody kicked him in the back of his knee. I was at the hoop. I'll never forget it. One of the wildest shits
so
I've ever seen.
it's a little
Mm.
summer open run at Red Oak High School.
Yeah, shout out Coach Foster. I can't believe we got the
I know,
invite,
right?
both of us.
Um, Earlier on, also in the week, we got Brian Rolap, the commissioner of the PGA Tour, really just talking
Yeah,
about long term plans. This man's pretty serious, and there's another story after this that he's definitely bringing in some of the influence from the NFL and some of the thought process behind this. I screwed up my little
yeah,
numbering system. The tour wants double the number of signature events. They speak to wanting to have the stars there more consistently, which we knew that was the point of the signature events in the first place. That
yeah.
was the point. Promotion and relegation will be prominent. This one's
That's for
interesting, and
tournament sponsors, though, right?
let me double check.
I think that's for tournament sponsors. As far as you need to be better about putting yourself on the forefront so we can use you. Because remember, I think that's kind of in connection with farmers pulling out, and it's like, all right, if you want to pull out, cool, but don't be out here acting like we ain't have y'all on Front Street for a while. Now it's more like, okay, if you working with us, then we're gonna promote you harder, make you an elevated event, and kind of like in a partnership like that. I think that's what that was for, as
Well,
far as
No,
relegation and
it's for the
promotion.
players.
it's for the players.
Who's
I'm looking at my notes from
Yeah.
who's
WR.
relegated?
It's saying citing
Um,
European soccer, roll up explained that the tour is hoping for much clearer promotion slash relegation system where players can work their way in between the two tracks.
I guess.
It also
so
says
in theory, go ahead.
it also says roll up in response to a question about how that is different than the current system. Roll up indicated that the stakes for lower tier events will be significantly more obvious than they have been. End quote.
Yep. Yeah. So definitely related to the players, and I think for what we were discussing or concerned about was that there's been a lot less opportunities for guys that are not the elite guys to have an opportunity to get in there. So if you have more elevated events, this gives them a chance to qualify the better that they play for them. Kind of makes it again more of a meritocracy where you can earn your spot, and just because you're not a Rory, you can still play well enough to get into these. And I think this kind of also rolls into this next point. The larger fields and no cut events are on the way. They said that he was saying that the ideal scenario for the tour is at 120. It's kind of like their sweet spot. Um, I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I think I'm used to the 144 has been the standard, so that one's a little weird for me. We'll see how that goes. Um, I will say that a lot of the talk that we were getting early on was that they were going to eliminate events. That does not seem to be part of the plan going forward, which I think is good. Um, they might tighten up the schedule a little bit and maybe go late January to September. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if I like having a 4 month gap with no golf, no PGA Tour golf. even though we know the DP World Tour goes super deep into the year, November, most years. So we'll see.
Yeah.
This one's for you. This one's for you, Marcus. Match play could be on the way for the Tour Championship. Marcus
Yeah, I
loves
did
some
see
good
that.
match play. Marcus
I'm all
loves some
for it.
match play. Very disappointed that. What was the last one? The one in Austin, at Austin, the
Yeah.
WGC.
20,
WGC.
2023.
God dang, it's
Yeah.
been 3 years already.
Yep.
Already.
It's crazy.
And it would have been this week, literally mid-March.
Yes.
Yeah. When they have to overseed in Texas because it's not fully back weather wise.
Literally.
They had a great I think what was even more frustrating was they had finally figured out another good match play course. Austin Country Club was great. It was so much risk reward involved in that course. You ain't worried about a score. You're worried about each individual hole. And then you got theatrics like Rory driving the green. The literal, I'm going to glaze a little bit. The greatest driver of the golf ball hit probably top 3 greatest drives we've ever seen in our lifetime when it mattered the most to win the match. Like, you don't get those moments in stroke play. You get those moments in match play. And you get them at ACC. Whatever deal they had going on, and then Dale, title sponsor too. You know what? I'm not going to rant. Go ahead, Rob.
Okay.
Oh my God, bro.
Getting hot under the collar. You're going to have to take the hoodie off. The tour, this is kind of related to that schedule quirk starting in late January. The tour wants to open big on the West Coast. I'm not quite sure how they're going to accomplish that. Like, I feel like we were talking about it this year. The weather on the West Coast starting this year was kind of rough. It seems like I would honestly like the Florida swing a little bit earlier, but yeah, I don't know. It just said he wants prime time, which that does equate to starting on the West Coast just because of the time difference. So we might not see the Tournament of Champions ever again at this point. Missed it this year just because of the course conditions and not being ready for go time because of the dispute between the course and the municipal. It was just about water. I don't think it was with the course. They just suffered the consequences of it. So we might have seen the last of the Tournament of Champions. Maybe we get it for another year or two, but it does not seem like that's in the plan. And then the last one, getting into bigger markets is the mission. Again, the notes state that they are in 4 of the 10 biggest media markets in the country, and they are trying to get, identify sites that are attached to bigger media markets, right? So the PGA Tour I'm just going off the top of my head, does not have a tournament in Chicago. I don't think there's one particularly close to New York, which we know even the LPGA even has a tournament that's in the New Jersey, New York area. What other big markets are they not in?
Boston, no more. They don't do TPC Boston no more.
That's right.
That's right. They're gonna go to Baltimore. Yes.
Get bro. Don't get cussed out.
Yes.
Don't get cussed out, bro. Don't get cussed out.
Come on, Q.
So yeah, at least this man has defined plans and has a vision, which leads into.
We never would have got this out of Jay Monahan.
No, we'd still be on live.
Totally good.
We'd still be on live. Good grief.
Rolap pretty much has said, "Live, y'all can go kick rocks. Like we're gonna do our thing over here. Y'all figure it out. We'll see y'all when those contracts run out." So right after, or kind of, I guess near the conclusion of the Players, I was kind of scrolling through the PGA Tour website and saw this story about them introducing this Chasing Sunday, an all-access look at the Players Championship. And again, I'm pretty sure if this is successful for them, they will continue this concept. They're partnering up with NFL Films again. That Brian Rolap NFL connection. NFL Films back in the day used like the music and the slow motion
They set the
footage,
bar.
Literally.
like top tier stuff. The early look of what I saw, and I'm gonna play their promotional video, not quite meeting that standard. I'm old, so I have, I have an expectation of what that looked like. This wasn't quite it, but it's an interesting concept, and we'll come back to that. Let's jump through all these goddamn slides. Pardon my language.
Yeah, don't let your nostalgia ruin the moment, sir. Gosh.
Literally.
I know.
No,
Try
but
not
no, I agree though.
to.
NFL Films used to really have the bar set on, 1,000.
Yeah.
It was hard to beat, bro.
I still watch NFL
So
films.
You have to.
So this is the promo. Tell me what y'all think after this.
Have you ever seen the Hard Knock show? Chasing Sunday?
Can you imagine how many cameras there are in this tournament?
We're all mic'd up, so we can be mic'd up together.
Yeah, are you mic'd up, Brady?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hey, man. Can you hear me? Okay, just checking. Well, hey, it might be good luck. I don't know. Seriously.
There'll be times where we could be aggressive when we have good numbers, but stay patient.
There's going to be juice, there's going to be excitement, there's going to be stress. But what matters is this guy right here.
You do not have to be perfect to win. You proved that last week.
You always chasing something. First hole felt like a major championship.
Golly, Wayne, this is not my day. Not this way.
They wasn't planning on me hitting a fat 9-iron from there.
I'm making this awfully hard.
This is not break, man.
Oh my God. I mean, are you kidding me?
Started moving immediately.
Shot, dude. Yeah, we're back.
Like so many people out already.
You get some big grandstands, you get a lot of people. That green gets really small. You're staring at water.
What do we got?
23 front.
It's something that you can't run from. You got to hit a good shot. 39's playing 45. And if you don't, then you're probably dropping on the drop area. 23 front.
23 front. It's got to be some sort of chip 9, huh?
No, I don't think so.
I like that 42, 43 shot.
Yep.
It's a perfect club, Rick, okay? You got it.
Is that because you don't want to hit a straight wedge aiming left to the pin?
Nice, fellas. Oh, that was the longest back nine ever.
We're going to be here now.
So f***ing aggravating.
What say ye? What do you guys think about it?
I think first and foremost, we got to look at the product. We got to look at the comparison between the NFL and the PGA. Football players just naturally funnier, cooler guys. We have a lot of like nerds and brainiacs that play golf. So we got to start there. Like they have to produce a personality. Like they did a good job of getting a good like conglomerate of people to start. Like you got your, you got your Chris Goddard up. He's a little bit awkward, but you always got your naturals. You got your Akshay. You got your Ricky. You got your I'ma be.
Siwoo.
Exactly. You got your famously I'ma be myself, Siwoo Kim. But yeah, I mean, caddy talk and stuff like that. Like having it, like I think it's gonna be a good aspect to show, but your caddy being your psychiatrist on course, I don't know if everybody's gonna always like, kind of gravitate towards that. But I think all in all, it's got really good potential. Like I think it's a lot better than sitting people down and interviewing them like the full swing. I think that shit is kind of dope.
I don't know. That's okay. We'll come back to that, Mike. What do you think about the preview? And also, just as a note before it should be dropping this coming Tuesday. So tomorrow, my tomorrow, 2 days away for you guys, but we should see that Tuesday.
To me, it felt kind of full swing-ish, in my opinion. Where
It did.
it
Different
just
angle.
felt very full swing-ish. I kind of wanted it more along the lines of like, how they would do those NFL films of just one person. They'll talk about like for example, like Ray Lewis, like it was over his career, but they would bring out like, hey, we're gonna focus on one person this tournament and we're gonna kind of pay attention to them, not so much, hey, we're gonna pick 5 guys and then we're gonna so it almost feels like if we were to put it in NFL terms, it'd be more like a hard knocks type, like, chasing Sunday, you know, where I was kind of more expecting like, okay, let's pick a guy and then just like talk about or like let like kind of like a raw what goes on between the ropes, because
Mhm.
yes, Marcus does have a point. I don't think that many people are going to hear about like you know being like their psychiatrist, but also like some people kind of want to know what the insight is between player caddy relations, or like what they talk about when the PGA Tour doesn't have them mic'd up, or where they're not
Yeah.
hearing just a bunch of numbers. So I think the product's there. I think it's a good product. It's they're still trying to find that kind of that sweet spot. Um, excuse me, but I see it having potential. I see it having potential.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess, again, this is just a trial run.
Right.
They'll figure it out. They'll get their footing. And we'll see if PGA Tour cuts the connection with Full Swing. Full Swing's next, or season 4 is supposed to drop in April. Covering Ryder Cup, which that's probably going to be pretty explosive. The one centering around the last 2 Ryder Cups, very insightful to see how things kind of crash down to the ground. Which I also saw another story about Keegan Bradley still struggling 6 months later, mentally
Oh,
with it. Said he
jeez.
thinks about it all the time. Thinks about the guys. So yeah, but I'm intrigued, right? So the NFL is all about owning their own intellectual property, and part of the PGA Tour in Full Swing is they lose some of the ecosystem when it goes out to Netflix. It's no longer within their own kind of 4 walls. So this is a way for them to, again, capture more of their own intellectual property. I know Phil Mickelson will probably have some smart mouth shit to say about that aspect of it. And this is random before I forget, since I threw his name out there. I don't think Phil Mickelson has played yet in the 4 weeks of the live season. He said he was going to miss the first 2 weeks. We knew about that. I don't think he's teed it up yet. So, MIA Phil Mickelson. But shout out to Lefty. Maybe he's in some personal trouble. Use the medical thing as an excuse.
Or prayers and thoughts to his wife.
I don't think he cares that much, but I'm not in his marriage, so shut up before I get
canceled.
To his wife. I hope that all is good and she's recovering, as expected. Last little aspect from the week interview earlier on in the week. Jordan Spieth was goaded into talking about the anchoring conversation. I think there's a talking point out there that the PGA Tour is trying to set us up for, or maybe, whatever the rules governing bodies are saying. But the new talking point is that the putter should be the shortest club in the bag. A young lady was interviewing Spieth, who's not a golf expert. She's like, I'm hearing about this anchoring. So he gives a nice explanation for her, and then goes into the Akshay, situation, that he doesn't think that he was anchoring, but making the putter or mandating that the putter be the shortest club in the bag would eliminate all doubt. Marcus gave his opinion last week. He thinks Akshay is anchoring. Mike, 2 questions. Do you, one, think that the putter should be the shortest club in the bag? And two, do you think that Akshay is anchoring?
I mean, this
Don't
picture
look at
really.
that one. No, that's not the one you need to look at. We need to look at real time action from the AP and watch.
From the
But
Arnold Palmer.
also, yeah, but I want to piggyback off of what Rod said as well.
Okay, hold on.
And
While
I
you
want
guys do that, I'm doing this.
getting your tech talk. What is the length of a wedge, which is technically your shortest swinging club, compared to what is the length of an average putter? Because we've seen everything from 29 from Chad Campbell back in the gap. And, we've seen all the way up to standard length being 36. But are wedges not 35 and some change? Am I tripping? Because if it's the shortest club, would that not have to be 34 and under or 35 and under? Even for
Right.
taller guys like a Tony Finau?
Which is kind of crazy because I think mine is 33.
You're 35. Oh,
No, I don't go
no.
35. 35 is weird because my arms are longer. And so it's just
Yeah.
weird to have to like,
But you had a 34
French.
though at one point.
and I
Did you
hated
not?
it. So
Because you were
I've cut
standing
mine down.
taller.
I'm like 33 and like a third inches at this point, I think it is.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah. What do you think
But
about
like,
so you don't agree with that talking point? You think that's kind of silly?
no, I agree with it should be a regulated standard length as far as the putter lengths go, but you can't say it should be the shortest club when wedges are like 35 to 36 inches. Like, it's kind of hard to wrangle that in depending upon extended clubs, standard length, and then OEMs having a
Right.
different length measurement system. That's all I'm saying. But I agree with Jordan Spieth. I think it should be something that you can't use to
It should
pull out to get your one club length or your two club lengths when you're doing your measuring from a hazard and stuff like that. Sorry, Mike.
it
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
should
You're cutting in and out, Rod. You might need to reset. So in the meantime, Michael, you go off on your tangent about if you think Akshay is anchoring, and then what you think about Jordan Spieth saying that in the meantime.
Oh, he's back. I mean, what I just saw, like, it can seem like he's anchoring it because technically anchoring is putting it to your chest. But from what it looks like, the thumb sits on the top of the grip. But also the shirt doesn't do it any justice because it looks like it's touching his chest. And in the video I just saw, when he drops it down, it like comes down significantly. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he's not anchoring, and it's the shirt mixed with the thumb that's making it look like it's to his chest. Now, if he is anchoring, then that's going to look pretty bad on him. I just don't suspect him of cheating and anchoring. I'm just going to say, like I said, I'm just going to say that the shirt is baggy and it just looks like he is because where the thumb is sitting on the grip. So no, he's not cheating. But I mean, when it comes to that, the putter should be the shortest club in your bag. No, I mean, I have an unconventional putter. My putter is 37.5 inches, but it's not my longest. It's not the longest club in my bag. Yes, it's longer than like my 8-iron, or about the same length as my 8-iron, but some players just kind of want to look for a longer counterbalance feel. Yes, you can have a grip that has a counterbalance weight. Yes, you can have it where it's 30, you can cut it to that length, put a weight in the grip, and make it how you want it to feel. But some players just like the longer putter. Some players, like Adam Scott, when we saw him when they banned the broomstick for a while, He had some really, really bad putter woes. And then they were like, hey, you can use a broomstick. You just can't anchor it to your body. And then we've like seen some better results out of him with the broomstick. It's just something that you're either you're accustomed to, or you just are able to get online better. You're better, something like that. But I just don't think it should be the shortest club in the bag. Now, using that length putter for like a drop, now then that should be something that they shouldn't do. Where if you are going to use quote unquote the longest club in your bag, it should be your driver, excluding the putter if your putter is longer than your driver. You know what I mean? That's
okay. So, in your opinion, what should be the
quick question? Have you ever seen somebody take the drop with the putter? I don't think I've seen that yet.
No,
No,
I haven't.
Adam
I think
Scott
they
does.
still use
Oh, Adam Scott does
with his putter. He's taking relief. Wow.
You gotta take full advantage of the rules.
That's insane.
No discount to Adam Scott. That's the rule. You use whatever club you have in your bag, and if they're not barring you from using it, I'm gonna get as much leeway and distance away from the hazard as possible. If that puts me in a better lie,
I don't agree with the whole. It should be the shortest club in the bag. I do agree that it should be a maximum length. In the same way with the driver, maximum is 46 inches at this point, and it used to be 47. Just make it make it a cap, right?
Just regulate it.
That's still generous. Still can do like the like you said, a counterbalance, or do the arm lock if that's still legal, whatever the case may be. But this whole where it's even questionable or near the chest, I think we're 10 years into that initial ruling around this putter deal. So we still know Bernard Longer is absolutely anchoring.
1,000%.
Probably breaking up. Sorry. So yeah, y'all go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. We hear you.
No, yeah, but no, yeah. I just think, I think.
All right, since my internet is struggling. Last official story of the day.
What? Right. You good?
Okay.
We hear you.
We got Liv. As long as y'all can hear me. Okay. Liv chose to play same week of the Players. I mean, it's not like they don't have the calendar. And it's not like the Players isn't played at the same time every year, but they were over in Singapore playing with massive insects and humidity and rain. I watched this in real time. Tournament kind of got scratchy at the end with the weather coming in. They had a weather stoppage as well. Richard T. Lee and Bryson DeChambeau go into a playoff. Oh.
They go into a playoff? Oh man, that putt by Richard T. Lee was disgusting.
Yeah, Rod's having an aneurysm.
Y'all, okay, so I don't know if either one of y'all watched it, but anyway, Richard Lee chokes on a putt in the playoff, gives DeChambeau the win. I think I'm back. I think my signal's back up. So it was just a really poor, anticlimactic par 5 finish with a par and a bogey to close out. Did y'all watch any Live this weekend at all?
Right. I'm not gonna lie to you. I forgot it was even on. I don't know why they tried to compete with the Players. I was in the realm of that. The Players was the only golf that was being played this week. So, I didn't know they were on, if I'm being honest with you. Why do they got his caddy still in his caddy bib? They can't at least have him take his caddy bib off for the championship picture?
They would have mistaken him
Hey,
as a player.
The whole thing was weird, bro. I'm telling you. And the unique part was that Richard T. Lee is a wild card player. So I don't think they've had many, if any, wild cards win a tournament in the league. So um, I don't know. Like watching the coverage was frustrating because they were leaning so hard into the team concept for a long time in the match, and I'm like, can I get the individual scoreboard, please? Like, I want to know where the actual players are. I could care
yeah.
less that the four aces are going to win. They're so locked into that damn team stuff, and it's like, who cares, man? Showing like inconsequential Anthony Kim putts. So anyway,
Mm-hmm.
let's see here. The only other random story that I didn't have on the list was Luke Donald announced as the Ryder Cup captain for 2027, running it back for the third time. I think it's an incredibly smart move
Smart.
on behalf
Super
of Team
smart.
Europe. What do you think, Mike? And then
No, I think
Marcus.
it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Luke Donald has found a really great chemistry with the guys, and they value his opinion. And I mean, it's Team Europe has been the same for the past 2 years. I don't see that changing anytime soon. It's either going to be one of the Højgaard brothers that'll be, or maybe they both make it in. But Team Europe is pretty solid.
It's pretty
It,
cemented.
yeah, it just depends on what comes out of the U.S. Who will be the U.S. captain, and who will
Another
come out of
wrong
the U.S.
decision coming.
Yes, it's going to be Jason
Don Turtle
Duffner.
Yang.
It's going to be Jason
You
Duffner,
said Jason Duffner.
aka Dong Turtle Yang. Yes. Yes.
Oh my God! Yes.
And vice captain will be
I,
Sir Fiddleston.
that almost literally, I don't know. Like, I mean, we're getting close to when they're going to have to make a selection, right?
They're gonna have to soon enough. Speaking of the Ryder Cup, though, it's crazy. Like going from JJ Spawn being so passionate and actually cooking up for the Ryder Cup to seeing him at that Phoenix Open before he withdrew, where he's like, "You think I give a fuck? You think I've been caring all week? Like, what has happened? What has transpired in that time frame to where he is completely off his rocker now, and still somehow managed to finish T24?
No, the PGA posted a video of him like, yeah, I just feel reinvigorated. Like I'm just out here ready to play golf.
You're
I was
lying.
Like, swear.
Stop trolling.
I'm going to send it to you. And
Please do.
I watched it and I was like,
same guy?
Didn't you just say you didn't care a couple weeks ago?
Right. Same guy. Quit trolling, bro. I need that vid.
Yeah, it was like I was getting ready to quit, but I feel reinvigorated. And I was like,
I think that gives some credence to the rumors that we were hearing around that time.
That Livy, that Liv move.
He may have been in some talks that broke down with the propaganda, right? That's the one thing that I don't like. I like Brian Rolap and I like what he's doing, but everything about the NFL is a controlled view, right?
Image.
You don't see anything that they don't want you to see. And I feel like golf has already been a protected entity like that, where they're very guarded. Like you said, the personalities do not shine very often in golf. And I feel like we are going to this really propagandized view of golf, and that it's going to be even more choreographed. And I don't know, man. That's the aspect that I don't necessarily like. I like it when they get kind of raw and reveal the behind the scenes stuff that we probably shouldn't be seeing. I think that keeps it fresh and keeps these people as real people to me. But you know, that's just
I
that's
agree.
just my perspective and take on it.
I agree. Even with my secondhand embarrassment.
Right. Once you get past that.
Yeah.
So coming up this week, we got the Valspar, which I love this course. This is kind of like a ball strikers course. The players enjoy playing it. I think we usually get Justin Thomas, I think, playing in this event. Jordan Spieth. So we'll get some decent
it's gonna be good.
names.
Ladies are back. DP World Tour is back. Woo-hoo. We are rolling, brother.
Yes.
We are rolling. Yes. Oh, they're in China. We get primetime golf. We get 9 p.m. golf. We get 10 p.m. golf. My word, we are back.
Yes.
We are fully
Very
back,
good.
bro. And then the ladies are in Cali, so we get that, that 5 to 8 golf going into the China golf. Oh my goodness. We are so back. We are so back. Oh my God. Birdman.
Very good.
Bro. Yeah. Oh, Rod's out of there.
So he's having an aneurysm.
Rod is out of there. He's frozen. You're what?
Yo. No, this guy's Dong Turkle Yang of the
He's
week.
not back. He's not
This is
back.
Dong Turkle Yang of the week.
There he is. He's back.
There he is. Yee.
He's back. No, he's not back.
No, he's cooked.
All right, we're gonna wrap it. We're gonna wrap it since my internet is struggling before it kicks me off. Last week I got kicked off at some point. So, all right, y'all. Bearder Bros Golf Show. A lot of golf to cover next week. Very intensive on the players this week. Mike's 50-50. You with us next week or no? I might take you out the graphic. I'm about to read this out the graphic.
I'm in because we got to talk about the qualifier, whether I got into the Monday or not.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, this is true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Bearder Bros
You said
Golf
it,
Show.
not us.
We'll be back at it again. I am Rod.
I am Marcus.
And as the Baltimore accent connoisseur, I am Michael. Yes.
See you next week.
Yes.